Today, don't get too good or you might beat the game too fast. This is Checkpoint. Welcome to Checkpoint, where we'd like to give shoutouts to the GMG Union, who successfully concluded their strike with Geo Media.
We can now add Kotaku back into our rotation of gaming sites we regurgitate news from.
Not Beej's stories, of course.
No, mine are all from Nintendo Life, Big Red N News, or BowserUncut.org.
I feel like you want to disable cookies on that last one.
No can do. Papa loves his chocolate chips.
Elden Ring is already one of the best reviewed games of all time and has sold over 5 million units in its first week on PC alone. But if the open world of the lands between seem too daunting and expansive for you, great news! You can beat the whole thing in under an hour. At least speedrunner Lil Aggie has done that, using a combination of intended gameplay mechanics and not intended gameplay manipulation. Aggie posted an in-game time of 59 minutes 38 seconds, which impressed me considerably because I've been playing for about 59 hours, and I had to stop watching only a third of the way through the speedrun because it was already into spoiler territory. Spoiler territory, by the way, is just south of Grumbling Ridge and home to Alkion the Festering Tear, and I love that those of you who don't play the game can't tell if I'm making this up or not. In any case, I can't wait to see an Elden Ring run on a future Games Done Quick installment, and with SGDQ months away, I may have actually beaten the game by then.
Quick tech update here this week. It is indeed possible to cause burn-in on your spiffy new Nintendo Switch OLED, according to a new study published this week by Bob Wolfden Wolf on the technology journal/cat video site known as YouTube. In all fairness, Wolf enacted a killer test to kill his screen, leaving it on a static shot of Breath of the Wild for 36 hours. I'm sorry, that's 3,600 hours before any burn-in was generated. And it's a fairly easy process. Just turn your Switch OLED up to maximum brightness, leave it plugged in handheld mode so it doesn't die, pull up a very bright image with lots of really blown out white so it'll be easy to spot, and oh yeah, come up with a way to continually input button presses for at least 1,800 hours before you even start to see the hints of image ghosting. Even after 3,600 hours, Wolf doesn't consider the damage worth issuing an RMA request for, and he plans to continue with the test for even longer to see if he can reduce it to, quote, an unplayable state. Jesus, man, if you don't want it, just send it to me.
If you're in the unique position of owning a next-gen console, either a PS5 or one of the Xbox serials, and you want to play a game from 10 years ago, well, good news, Grand Theft Auto V is on its way. In fact, it's available for preload now. Of course, if you already own it for previous generation consoles, you can upgrade to this tuned-up version by buying it, same as everybody else. There is no free or discounted upgrade path. Get this, though. On PS5, it's 75% off for the first 3 months, so only $10 before it goes back up to $40. If you want just GTA 5 online, though, without all that single-player nonsense, well, you'll need PlayStation Plus, but at least the game is free for 3 months, and then it's $20. On Xbox, for some reason, the game is only 50% off at launch, so $20 until it's $40, and only the online stuff is $10 instead of free until it's $20, and also you need Xbox Live Gold. Again, the game is 10 years old, and Rockstar is really milking this cow. But then, I've bought Final Fantasy VII an uncountable number of times on various platforms. I think the main difference here is that Square Enix, for all their other failings, have shown themselves to be pretty alright at remastering their games, whereas Rockstar have very recently shown that they really are not.
Popular entertainment franchise and cautionary tale against ooze proliferation, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is getting a video game bundle. That's right, you can now get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 Turtles in Time all in one pack. That pack also includes Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, as well as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Wait, no, that's not the first arcade one. That's Turtles in Time. Right, yeah, okay. Wait, no, that's the Super Nintendo one. We already showed that one, right? Right, okay, I think that's correct. Anyway, that's a great lineup. And it also comes with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Hang on, wait, no, I thought that was a Super Nintendo game. Wait, oh, that's the Super Nintendo game. So then what were we looking at before? What the hell is that one? The NES one? Holy shit. Oh, wait, is that a different one, or are you just fucking with me at this point? Okay, well, that's all of them. 13 whole games, unique in every way, truly the definitive collection of every Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game ever made. Oh, what the fuck?
It's finally happened. In an outcome we all hoped for since getting our ass kicked in card games at grade school, someone was finally punished for spending too much on just buying the powerful cards. As a man has been sentenced to 3 years in federal prison for spending over $57,000 on Pokemon cards. Now, before we get too deep into the story, let's just all hope it isn't because he tried to fuck them. No, good. Okay, good. We're safe. No, as it happens, it was the actual buying that was the problem, because the man, by the name of Vineth Odumsine, used federal money to do it. Back in July 2020, he applied for an economic injury disaster loan, claiming that he ran a small business with 10 employees and a gross annual revenue of over $200,000, and had been negatively impacted by the pandemic, which resulted in receiving a deposit of $85,000, nearly $58,000 of which he spent on Pokemon cards. This was reported back in October, but sentencing has finally happened, and the actual U.S. Department of Justice had to send out a press release specifying that Odumsine didn't just spend $57,789 on Pokemon cards, he spent it on Pokemon Card, specifically a Charizard. More specifically, a first edition shadowless and holographic Charizard card with a 9.5 gem mint rating, according to some sleuths at Polygon. This guy took relief money, bought a single Pokemon card, and now has to spend 3 years in federal prison, 3 more years under supervision after his release, and pay back his $85,000 plus an additional $10,000. All I'm saying is that we're a small business with more than 10 employees, and if our government had given us, well, anything, but certainly $85,000, we'd have bought at least more than one Magic card.
Today, Checkpoint falls on Mario Day, an auspicious occasion I'm always pleased to celebrate.
Did he see his shadow? Do we get 6 more weeks of Mario?
I would thank you not to make fun of my religious observances.
All right, fine, sorry.
Apology accepted. Now, what did you get me for Mario Day?
Man, Mario Day's gotten so commercial. It used to just be about the Mario, man.
The Mario Man's name is Jumpman. Coming up, Nintendo is delaying the release of the Advance Wars remake because now isn't a good time. But it is a good time to back Itch.io's Bundle for Ukraine and pick up a bunch of games while helping relief efforts in Ukraine.
I hope our friends at Fake Notes are doing well during this pandemic.
I hope so too. They're probably making pretty good bank.
Probably, yeah. I can't wait to see Elden Ring, and Elden Ring run. I'm very tuned into sniffing out bullshit in gaming news headlines.
Ah, yes.
Right. And so when the headline is, man sentenced to 3 years in federal prison over Pokemon card, I'm like, okay, but what's actually going on here?
Yes!
And in this case, no, it's exactly that. He took federal money and bought a Charizard, and the government was like, absolutely, you do not do that.
Yeah.
And 3 years in federal prison. And the release there that there was a screenshot of, there was an entire paragraph that was just the sentence, there is no parole in federal prison. So it's like, no, he's there for 3 years.
I'm kind of blown away by that was written specifically just for everybody who's like, yeah, send that fucker to the clink, you know, and it's like, oh, he'll get out on parole. It's like, no, he can't be paroled. And like, yes. It's like, wow, vicious people who are like, I hate it when people buy my Charizard.
Now, so the thing is, it's like, the reason I mentioned like some sleuths at Polygon is because the way back in October, it was just like charged with spending
Like fraud.
relief money on charged with fraud for spending money on Pokemon cards, and that was all the information. And now the government has like spent this money on a Charizard, and so then whoever wrote the story for Polygon was like, okay, on this card market, they said it was a Charizard. The U.S. government said it was a Charizard. A Charizard sold within the time frame for that much money, so we know that it was this like holographic first edition shadowless, whatever any of that means.
Yeah,
so we were able to figure out which one it was, and it's like, man, how bad do you want that Charizard?
Well, I'll tell you, you're probably not going to be able to get it, because I think a wrinkle here is that's technically evidence of a federal crime.
Does the government own it now?
I think the government now owns that Charizard, which means that they'll have to hold on to it for as long as is necessary to preserve that. Because it's not like where it's like, we have drug auctions where we sell like a guy's car or whatever, like that kind of thing. And I'm like, they might do that someday, but they might have to hold on to this long enough to be like, we have to wait until the time runs out before we can actually auction this card.
Does that mean that this man, who I'm going to charitably refer to as a complete idiot, is going to have to... like in paying back the $85,000, it's not like he now has the Charizard to sell on and get that money and then pay it back to the government. He's got to come up with that $57,000 plus 10 on his own.
Possibly. I'm actually not sure how that would shake out, because like because to me, like, making restitution is like, I bought this thing and we can prove that it has that level of value. So it's like, okay, well, I can either provide that to the government or we can sell that on, auction it off, and then the money raised from that can go to pay off the whatever. It's like I'm like, either of those things could exist, but because I don't know how that works, it's like, I wonder if they just be like, we're going to sit on the card and you owe us your money. Like, you have to now make this money back. Yeah. And that card isn't yours anymore because it's property. I'm not sure. I'm not a federal lawyer, right? This is the part where we would cut to Legal if he had any idea who the hell we were, and he would probably comment on it. Actually, he might even do something on that. Who knows, right?
Yeah, actually, this seems like the sort of thing he would probably cover. It's good for clicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a criticism,
no,
by the way.
No. We're all part of the same thing.
We're all part of the YouTube cycle.
At least the dude's not going to be like, well, to raise the money, I'm going to sell NFTs of the card. Because then you can just see like the Pokemon company getting involved and be like, you actually don't own that card. You can't sell NFTs of it. So,
oh no, I'm not selling the card. I'm just selling an NFT of the card. Nintendo clearly doesn't understand how this works. Good news, Grand Theft Auto 5 is on its way. In fact, it's GTA Midgar.